Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming and welcome back for Minecraft 1.7 Amplified Survival Story. This is the series where you guys suggest story ideas in the comments and I continue them while I play in the new 1.7 Amplified Survival. So last time we heard the story of the baby zombie and I started my house here. But today I want to go get some iron. I definitely need better armor and stuff like that, and well, armor at all. I have no armor. And I want to get some wool for carpeting and different stuff and maybe a bed. So we're going to do that. So today's story, I feel really bad for Snow Rose because, again, she suggested this awesome story idea, a story about a sea turtle named Sam who works at Taco Bell, and again, it got second place. So that's not going to be the story today. Maybe eventually we'll get that one, but today's story is going to be by Mr. Gaming Box HD, and his suggestion was a story about a piece of sugarcane that could not grow like the others. So that is what we're doing. And this is going to be a bit of a challenge, but I think we can do it. Now, if I can find my ladder, here it is, we can head down. So I'm going to go exploring, and let's start the story. So this is a story about a piece of sugarcane, and his name was Cain. He was a pretty average piece of sugarcane, except he wasn't growing. He lived at the edge of a desert, right on the edge of a river between those two, and he thought things were a bit scary out there in the world. The world seemed huge and daunting, but he thought, I need to find answers. I need to find my daddy. My daddy's gonna tell me, my papa, he's gonna tell me why I'm not growing like the others. And he decided that was what he had to do. So one day, he pulled and pulled at his roots. He said, if I'm not growing down, or I'm not growing up, I must be growing down. So he tugged at his roots, and he plopped out of the ground, and he found that he was actually growing. He was growing the wrong way, though. And he was growing the other way. He had roots underneath that were actually legs, surprising enough. And he popped out of the ground, and he had two giant roots that basically became feet, so he could wander. And he was like, this is strange, but I gotta find my poppy. If I'm going to figure out why I'm like this, I gotta find my daddy. So he decided, I'm gonna head out, and I'm gonna look out for danger because I only got legs, I ain't got no arms to fight the legions of monsters out there. So he decided that if he could travel out far enough, maybe he would find some answers. So he journeyed the way that he knew how into the desert biome, and he decided, I'm gonna try to find a village because I heard about those things. And he traveled and traveled, and he did eventually find a village, and the village had some carrots in there. It also had some villagers, but the villagers were just like, meh, meh. They didn't really care what was going on with him. They were just confused. They ran around and closed their doors in his face. But he did find some crops there, similar to himself, harvestable crops, and there were some carrots there. And he said, howdy, I'm looking for my poppy. I need to figure out what's going on with me. I'm so weird. I just don't know what's going on in this world. So he talked to the carrots, and the carrots said, well, howdy. We're just a bunch of carrots. We also grow down, just like you. And we don't really know much about this world because we've only ever known this vegetable patch. But we'll try to help you. So you're growing the wrong way, huh? That sounds strange, but, you know, maybe that's just your way. And the little sugarcane, Cain, he said, well, I don't know. I gotta go ask my daddy. I gotta find my daddy. And maybe he'll know why I grow like this. I gotta get answers in this world. That's just how it is. So the carrots said, alright, I guess we're not helping you much. You might want to go to the next town over and talk to the vegetables there. I know things are dangerous between here and there, but maybe, there we go, maybe you can play things your way and get some help along the way and find your way in this world. So Cain said, alright, I guess I'll be wandering. I guess I'll be going all along. So he headed to the next village, and there he found more villagers who were confused by his look and general appearance. But he did also find some potatoes. And these potatoes were a bit wiser than the carrots. They weren't quite as friendly, though. They were a bit more gruff. And they put all their eyes on him. They were all very confused by him. So with all eyes on Cain, he decided that he was going to hit and run. He grabbed one of the potatoes, punched him in the face, and said, tell me where my daddy is. Cain was fed up at this point. Things were getting intense. And the potatoes were like, why'd you do that? You didn't have to. You could have just gone things the normal way. And Cain said, alright, sorry about that. I get a little uptight when things get about my daddy. And geez, things were very intense in the world. And Cain said, I don't know about this. I'm a little afraid of talking to you potatoes. You guys are strange. But they said, don't worry, things will work out alright. So you're looking for your daddy. You're trying to figure out why you grow roots instead of grow, upwards. And Cain said, that's pretty much it. Yep, that's what I was thinking. So the potatoes said, maybe that's just your way. Maybe you're just different from the others. I don't know where your daddy might be, but maybe he would be upriver. Sugarcane breaks off and it flows downriver. We've seen it happen. So maybe your daddy is upriver somewheres. So Cain said, alright, I guess I'll be moseying on now. So I'm gonna find another village. I don't like you potatoes. You guys are weird and confusing. And I almost fought you, so it's getting awkward here. I'm gonna leave and head on, and I gotta find my daddy. So he decided that he would move on to the next village. And one of the potatoes shouted, you might find an older vegetable. We're not that old, and we don't know that much. So Cain said, alright, thanks. That was some pertinent information. So Cain headed onwards, and he kept traveling, and he felt very vulnerable because of his lack of armor and weaponry. But he decided to head on, and whoa, he went into some new areas, and things got a bit strange for a second, but things were okay. So Cain traveled on, and he traveled on, and he found one more village in the desert, and here there was some wheat. And the wheat, the wisest and oldest of the plants in the land, said, you're quite an odd piece of sugarcane. One of the old geezers said, I haven't seen any like your type around here. So the oldest and most shriveled of the wheat who had gone the longest without being harvested, was very perplexed by Cain's appearance. And the wheat said, things might get scary out there. They might be tough to traverse. They might get very intense. But you gotta do it. You gotta try. Because that's the way the world is. And it don't matter if you grow upwards or downwards or any which way but loose. You gotta do it. Cain was perplexed by these words of wisdom from the old piece of wheat, and he said, I'm just trying to find my daddy. I don't know much about the world, but if you could help me find my daddy, I'd be much obliged to you. So the wheat said, alright, well, the potatoes told you how you grows. Usually you grows up, and when you break off, you flow down the stream, or maybe you're taken by some type of bat or something, grabbed by it and taken downstream or somewhere else and planted, and that's just how it works. Sugarcane don't have no daddy. Sugarcane is its daddy. All sugarcane comes from a single crop. They've all just continued on. You don't have seeds. You are more like a potato or a carrot, I'll admit that, than you are like the wheat. Because we have seeds. But, that's just how the world turns. So, Cain was just stupefied by this notion that he didn't have a dad, that he was his own dad. And he said, that's mighty confusing of you. And the wheat said, you sure aren't that smart, are you? You dummy, just go out and live your life. You are much luckier than most sugarcane. You can actually travel. You've got legs. You could do anything you want in this world, and yet you're going around looking for your daddy like a big old blubber baby. So Cain was much offended by this. The old wheat didn't have to be as mean as he was. So Cain he said, why'd you have to say that about my daddy? And Cain started to cry, and he cried and cried out of his whatever. Sugarcane doesn't have eyeballs, something, just the holes on the side of his head. And he cried, and water just flowed out from his face, and it flowed, and it started to wash away the sands of the desert. And the wheat was like, come on, man, you're making it tough for us. We just want to sit here and be planted in the ground. And we don't want to go looking for nothing special. We just want to be here and live our lives. So why make life hard for us? And Cain didn't care. He said, I don't know much about that. I'm just going to cry and cry because I can't find my daddy. So Cain, that's what he did. He cried and he cried like a big old blubber baby. And Cain cried, and eventually the sands all began to wash away, so much so that something appeared beneath. There was strange colored clay that was hidden under the desert, and the sands washed away to reveal canyons, and everything was moved and pushed away until eventually they found there was many colors of clay beneath, and they formed huge plateaus and mesas, and a new biome was revealed underneath the desert, and Cain was the one who found it, and no one else had helped him. He came to this all on his own. He didn't need his daddy to discover this thing. So Cain had actually done something great in his life other than just being a piece of sugarcane that could miraculously walk and talk and everything. And the wheat, the oldest of the wheat, who was now full with water and kind of actually happy for it, decided to name Cain He Who Cries Like a Big Baby. And Cain was known by that name for years to come, but everyone forgot that he was the one that discovered the Mesa biome. They thought that it was coded by the developers, but it wasn't. It was Cain who found it, and Cain might not have found what he was looking for. He might not have found the daddy or the iron, if you will, that he had been seeking this whole time, but he did get many things along the way. He found friends, he met the pumpkin, he met the flowers, he met everyone in the land, and he gained a few levels of experience, if you know what I mean. But even though he didn't find what he was looking for, he found something much better, a new biome that was really cool. So that is the legend of Cain, the sugarcane who couldn't grow like the others. He grew in his own way, and he grew special. And I hope you all grow special too, and grow in your own special way, because, you know, you don't gotta be like the others. You can be yourself, and you can do great things. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Look at this tall birch tree. That's awesome. I haven't found iron yet. I need to just start digging if I'm gonna find iron. I can't go around fighting stuff. And I got a few things. I got some wheat. I got some stuff. Not wheat. I got some wool. So I think I'm in a better position. I'm gonna maybe try to find my way back to my house since I'm full on stuff. And thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Leave your story suggestions in the comments, please. And I'll see you next time for more Minecraft survival story. I got an arrow to the groin. See you guys next time. Goodbye.